Do you two find in your counseling that that's more? Is it gender based? Do you find men more lock into relationships much quicker? Women tend to process things differently. Because as far as I know, my ex is not a dating. I mean, we've had texting back and forth, and she says I'm not with anybody at this point. And I don't know Kelly's personal life that much, but for the most part, I think she made it pretty clear she's off the market right now and hasn't put that she hasn't put that vibration out into the universe. I've been working on her, guys. Okay, so I've been working on it. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take her dog, her kids away, all that stuff away. She's gonna have no choice. Okay, so
I think
um,
there's a humility baked in, when you realize I'm gonna again put myself back into a situation where I could get hurt, right? And in our culture, yes, I see men, they don't want to be alone. They're going to fall right back into it. It doesn't necessarily have to be even a rebound. They're just open to it. They don't want to be alone, And women, hey, we're going to get what we need, I can do without sex. Many women over 50 like, okay, some not, but many just say, hey, I want companionship, I want friendship, I want intimacy. I can get that with other women. And you add to that the myth that all men are, the tyrannical patriarchy, and they're all, oppressors, and they're all, cheaters, and fill in the blank. I mean, so who needs them? That's where so many of women are these days. So yeah, I think they're finding it a lot easier to be just single and hang out with their girlfriends.
yeah, I mean, I get it. As the older you get, the less of a threshold you have for BS and things.
Yes.
Because you guys know that you have to go through a hell of a lot of. It's kind of like the what was that movie with Morgan Freeman?
Shawshank Redemption.
Where
Shawshank
he's in the
Redemption, we
tunnel and
said.
he's going through all the crap and he's going through it and you're like, oh my God, I cannot
Yeah, yeah,
believe
yeah,
this.
yeah.
And you feel like you're in it, and that's kind of like getting a new relationship going. You have to go through that. I mean, obviously after the honeymoon phase, let's say where everybody's on their best behavior the first 6 months. I'll tell you a quick story since I'm going to fess up here. It wasn't until, hey, this is good therapy. You guys are, you guys are awesome. So
You're good.
so it wasn't until I got out of my relationship, started dating, hurt somebody else, and then I realized you're the problem, Mark. This is how I healed. I said, you hurt another person, exactly what you did to your ex. And when that took place and I saw the pain I caused, it shook me. Okay. And I went to my ex and I said to her, I am sorry. I never made you feel beautiful, loved,
Wow.
or special.
Wow.
And she actually, messaged my daughter and said, what I said to her, and it was a brief moment of where we had some peace, and I realized that was something. Now, this was baggage I got from my dad. My dad was a horribly abusive to my mom. My mom never felt love. All that stuff. She had 13 brothers and sisters. She was molested as a child. Forget it. It was just, a lot to unwrap. But it wasn't until I did another level of it that I realized that they're not the problem. I got a younger woman. I got this. I got that. It's not that. It's not, hey, she's 50 some.
Nope.
So it took a long time, man. So
What you just said.
yeah.
What you just said, and I want people to hear, regardless if you ever get into another relationship, what saves you, and I mean this, and I don't mean, oh, okay, now you're going to heaven. I mean, saves you. What
Probably not, but that's
resurrects
okay.
you. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. If you stay in that and you never admit that, so a man thinks in his heart, so is he. When you gave that text, that letter, when you spoke that, a part of you, literally a part of you just resurrected, and that's who you're going to look in the mirror. That's who you're going to go to bed with, and that saves your life, literally. And so I commend you for that. And most people just don't ever get there.
It takes a lot to really raise your emotional intelligence. You got to do a lot of soul searching, a lot of reading, a lot of podcasts listening to, a lot of watching videos, and then you got to fight confirmation bias, where believe, which we all know is always probably the biggest problem. I call it the curse of validation,
Yeah,
or confirmation bias that keeps you in that same loop of the same thoughts and the same habits and the same patterns.
you got
Kelly,
it.
did I ever tell you that story or no?
No, you didn't. It's a good one. I got chills.
Okay, so
That's good.
Yeah.
welcome to the Mark Patrick confession hour.
Yeah. In this, I told you, I mentioned, Peter Rollins, and I mentioned this contemplative way. I can't go without, like, literally, I would have traded. I mean, I grew up in this fundamentalist religious system, and, more about strict sectarian kind of legalistic, blah, blah, blah. But when I met online Richard Rohr, Rohr, who has written, the Universal Christ, the Wisdom Pattern, Falling Upward. Falling Upward is brilliant if you go to YouTube and just. But the way he talks about, he called it literally the Wisdom Pattern. But we start with order. Some of us don't. We start with chaos, and if we find order through God, it's like, oh my gosh, they're the ones who. It becomes this gross thing that's too structured and too ordered. And it's like, so it's a better start to start with order and kind of have what he calls a container, kind of have some good ego. But it's bad because you're gonna have to lose that. But it's good to start there. But it says there's order, then there's chaos, and then reorder. Construction, deconstruction, reconstruction. You can say in nature there's fall, winter, death, spring. The Bible, life, death, resurrection. And hear me, there's no nonstop flight. Here's this word I love. There's no nonstop flight from box 1 to box 3. You have to go through the dying. And this is what none of us want to do, none of us want to admit, none of us want to talk about, but literally, Mark, it's not just the death you died. It's like it's us going, damn it. I did that. That's it.